Hey everyone, my name is Seth. You are watching Gray on Tech TV, and if you have not done yet so do hit that subscribe button and like the video because this is my fuel of motivation that you guys are engaging through my content. So let's dive into the function today that we'll be seeing, that is ABANG update. So what is ABANG update? ABANG update is nothing but a function that is used to update the data at a specific index. So let's try to create a scenario first, and then because you are already aware about the global documentation that is available to you. So let's dive into practical directly. So we'll be using ABANG local variables, local bank data, and we will be putting up some data here. So it can be any list of text string, or it can be, uh, you know, custom type data. For example, it can be a map or a dictionary where you have to update the data at a specific index. Then we will be using ABANG update. So I'll try to showcase you a simple example so that you can understand, and later you can replicate the same scenario in your project with your complex data set. So let's take data as 33, right? So this is our data ready. Next, then we have to allow it to get updated somewhere, right? What we'll be doing is, so we are having 8 items in our data. So we'll create a button. So let's create local bank button false, comma, and on the click of the button we'll be trying to update the data. So these are the general scenarios, right, where you have to click on a specific button, and on the click of that button the data has to be updated, right? So a bank button layout, in that primary buttons, a bank button widget, here you can put label, update learn, and tooltip subscribe. Next, value. Now value would be true, and save into, it will be a list of saves, because while saving we are not only saving into a single variable but also we are trying to update the data on the local bank data button. So we'll be saving it into local bank button. So initially local bank button is false. Then when you click on the button that is defined here, the local bank button will become true. Once it becomes true, we have to do a simultaneous update on the data set that we are having here. Now in your project scenario, it would be a data that is coming from a rule input, which is indirectly being called in a process model, user input task, or there can be a scenario you are having nested interface and the parent interface is sending some data into the child interface. So you are having the data here in your main data variable, and you have to update it on the click of the button. So what we'll be doing, ABANG update. Now here's a technical scenario that I want to show you. So data would be local bank data. Hope you understand. Index would be index. Right now I'm hard coding index. Next, in the next scenario, I'll show you a more complex way of implementing it, like a more better way of how the projects are being implementing this update function. So 1, 2, 3. Let's suppose third index. At third index, you have to update it, and value would be, you can put any value. So I'll be putting 99. Right now, let's test it. The important thing is we are updating, but we are not retaining the value in the data. So once you update, then what will happen? It is just you have to save it, right? That's why it is scenario where you have to save it here. What will be doing? A bank save, local bank data. So after the updation, you have to save the updated local bank data value, list value into that variable. So if you click on update now, the true is the value for the local bank button and the data is updated. This is a simple scenario of understanding how local bank data gets updated through a bank update button. So a bank update is individually explained here. You can see a lot of scenarios here in the bottom. But the main thing is you have to understand how to use it with user interaction. So with user interaction, I've shown you. And there can be more complex scenarios where you don't know where the index is. So the index can be any point where a specific value exists. So in that case, we can use the where contains functions. So I'll be explaining you a more complex scenario in the next lecture. And if you really like my explanation, drop a like, hit that subscribe button because we'll be definitely seeing each other again. Till then, stay tuned.